Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound Podcast Channel on YouTube. I am Unfound's host, Ed Densel. I hope everybody is spectacular. Before I get started, I want to remind all of you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And please click the bell button so when we upload videos such as this one, you will be alerted immediately. You will also be alerted when I do the live shows on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. As the title says, this will be a map supplemental to the disappearance of Krystal Bailey. That's an episode that we released on August 6th of 2021. What you are looking at here is Brook Road and Cameron Road. These are both roads. They were mentioned in the interview that I did with Krystal's sister, Michelle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first show you, I'm going to zoom out, show you a lay of the land, I guess you might say. And then I will go down to a street view and show you where I believe the wreck occurred. And then I will go back to the satellite view, as you see here, to show you how this creek, this great brook as it is called, ends up at the Winooski River. So allow me to zoom out first. And so you can see right down here is where we just were. And here is Plainfield. You can see it right there. I did a distance, and it's about a little over half mile from where I believe the wreck occurred to the center of Plainfield. And Plainfield is also where the Winooski River goes through. So that just shows you, if you're going to be looking at this map for yourself, going to Google or some other map program, you should know that Brook Road and Cameron Road are down here to the southeast of Plainfield. So let me now zoom back into this intersection. Once again, you can see that Brook Road, the title is right there. Cameron Road is coming here from the east. I'm going to now do a street view to show you a few things. And I'm going to go down this direction a little bit. So there we go. Here we are on Brook Road, and we are pointed in generally a north direction. So we're going up here, and what you're going to notice is that this road, if you will remember my discussion with Michelle, and if you will remember, if you've read any accounts of this disappearance, you know that the story is that Krystal and Allie wrecked into a guardrail. Well, you're going to notice as we're going along this road, there's not much guardrail that can be seen. And so now here we are coming up. We're going in a north direction. And here is Cameron Road. This is Cameron Road right here. And this is Brook Road, what we are on here. And so we will keep going in that direction. We're going to come back to that. And once again, you're going up here. And now we are going toward Plainfield. And so presumably this is the road. If they got to this point, they would have been on. And maybe you can see that looking over here to the left, there is the brook right there. And you can see, rocks in it. It is very, very shallow. Let me see I'm not sure when this street view was done. But we will continue on, once again, noting that there's not much guardrail. We saw some back at that intersection of Cameron Road and Brook Road, but that's about it. And you'll remember, once again, from the accounts, that the wreck happened near Cameron Road and Brook Road. And so here we come up, once again, on some additional guardrail right here. But you can see we've gone maybe a quarter mile, and this is the first guardrail that we've come to since the intersection of Brook Road and Cameron Road. And I also want to show you, this is the brook that we are to believe that Allie and Krystal went in. We know that Allie was, I guess you might say, rescued, and that if we were to believe that Krystal went into the water, that Krystal was not rescued. And you can see, once again, this will show me the date of the street view. This is this is July of 2019, so a little over 2 years ago is when this video was taken. You can see how shallow it is. Now, we know how quickly things can change when it rains. In this particular case, when snow is melting, but this just gives you an idea of this brook in its natural state, I guess you might say. Very, very shallow. Of course, this is not, for example, the Mississippi River, but looking at this, going back to concentrating on the guardrail, it's fairly long, but I have to tell you, I've examined this guardrail, and I have the ability, and if you're ever looking into anything like this, you want to use Google Street View, and then you can go to the side, and you oftentimes know that pictures and videos of these roads and streets are done at different times. July of 2019, maybe June of 2015, going back, and you can tell differences between the past and the present. And I've been able to do that with this particular piece of road. And once again, looking in this direction, we are looking in a north direction going toward Plainfield. I'll now turn your attention. I've gone back and forth, and I'm going to toggle back and forth so you can see it. Between this July 2019, so after the disappearance happened, to before, and there was this video was a picture of this road was also done in May of 2012. So I'm going to show you the May 2012 picture. You will see the picture change. You will see that it gets a little bit lighter, more sunlight, more shadows. So there is the picture from May of 2012, and there is no difference in this guardrail. So this is a picture taken before the wreck, approximately 5 years before, and this is the picture taken approximately 2 years after. The guardrail is the same, so I'm inclined to believe this is not the guardrail that they ran into. Of course, it could be, but I don't think it is. Of course, this creek, as you can see, is right there. You could maybe think, well, they wrecked here, jumped right into the creek. Very plausible, but I do not think this is the piece of guardrail. Instead, we're going to go back the opposite direction. Now we're going away from Plainfield, Vermont, going in the opposite direction that I think that they were going. And I'm going to go back to that Cameron Road, Brook Road intersection. I actually believe that the wreck happened at the very place where these two roads come together right here. And so looking off, you can see the sign right there in the middle of the screen, Cameron Road. You can see it's not even paved. It's kind of gravel. And then Brook Road right here, but we're looking south. You'll see these guardrails right here and right there. And I want you to pay special attention. This is once again from a picture taken from July of 2019. Pay attention to these I guess you might call double girders that are coming out of the ground for this guardrail right here, because what you're going to see is that this is the July 2019 picture, but once I toggle back to the other picture, and once again, you're going to see the screen change. It's going to be a lot brighter. You'll notice, looking that same exact area, that double guardrail is not there in the July 2012 or May 2012 picture. But we go back to the 2019 picture, and there it is, right there at the top of the screen. Let me move that a little bit for you so you can see it. So once again, I will toggle back to May of 2012 and see that there is no double girder there. But in the 2019 picture, there certainly is that double girder. And I'm inclined to believe this is where the wreck happened. And in fact, if you look really closely, you can see a difference in the metal between the guardrail over here and the guardrail over here. This is much shinier than over there. I think this is where the wreck happened. So what does that mean? So it's not just that it happened near Cameron Road and Brook Road come together. I think this accident happened right at the intersection of Brook Road and Cameron Road. And I've already told all of this to Michelle. I've shown her, I've told her about this and what I've noticed. So once again, I believe this is where it happened. Now, the big question is, how does this happen? Well, we're going to, is it possible that they were actually on Cameron Road coming down this direction? Allie's drunk. She doesn't stop and runs right into this guardrail right here. Absolutely possible. All right, I'm open to that idea. And I'm not sure it's necessarily important what if they were on Brook Road or Cameron Road before this happened. All we need to know is that I believe, at least as far as I can tell, looking at this guardrail, if we're to believe they ran into a guardrail, this particular guardrail is the one they ran into. And then you can see how close the creek is. It looks a little deeper here than in that other spot, but still, I mean, it's going to come up to your calves or something like that, at least this time of year, which once again is July of 2019. So we're to believe that somewhere they ran, and there are no accounts of exactly where these EMTs, which way they ran, or these women ran, Krystal and Allie, and where Allie was actually saved from the water. It could be right down the street here, or it could be way down to where that other guardrail is. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe the EMTs could tell us who were there that night, but that's probably about it. And I really don't know the importance of that right at this second. But we also know that somewhere in this area, Krystal's purse with her phone in it was found not in the water, but on the bank. Probably on this bank, not on the far side, but on the near side. So if you're going to be looking at this, and I'll go back to the satellite view, my belief, zooming in, is that the wreck happened right here, right there. Now you should know that this brook flows in a northerly direction, so it'd be going up the screen. So from down here, it's going to wind its way up to the river that I will show you in a moment. But I think what you're going to see in zooming out is this creek is fairly windy, which as most creeks are. You'll see that it goes here. You'll see it's right there. It goes up. You can even see it says the Great Brook. You can even just follow the words. It's going past all of these houses. It's going right here, up there, and it finally gets to the Winooski River, and you can see it there, Winooski, the river, and that is in Plainfield, Vermont. So if we are to believe that Krystal did go into the water, she would have had to have gone, once again, what I just showed, this very, very windy direction up to the Winooski River, which is right there. I guess it's possible. I've tried to find some pictures from that time. I've not been successful right at this point to show how really how overflowing it was, the Great Brook. But, the trouble is, doing video like this, looking at this brook, it doesn't look that dangerous. But being from Pennsylvania, and we used to have a creek that went by our house that looked 99.9% of the year, it wasn't scary at all. But then when it would rain and after snows, it would come up over its banks, and it would go from being barely getting your feet wet to being several yards wide and waist deep. That's just how things happen in, I guess, the Northeast. So we have to really kind of imagine this and get it, kind of imagine if she went into the water here. Is it believable that she got taken away the whole way up to this the Winooski River? And I believe the Winooski River flows in a east to west direction. Maybe This is one of those things I wish there were some locals who could give some opinions on this. So, but there's no doubt that if she went into the river, that she had to have gone in this direction. Wouldn't have gone that direction. The river, the creek flows, the brook flows to this river. Now, just taking a look at the surrounding area, if she did run off, she was trying to run, she was afraid. There's a lot of places to run to. She really didn't go into the water, and maybe that's the reason she hasn't been found. We can't forget that she had a head injury, and that certainly could play a factor into the decisions she chose to make. It would also decide how far she can run. We see some area over here that's pretty wooded, area not far away from the creek that's decently wooded going down in this direction. We get over here to the east. There's certainly some areas, but you have to remember it would have been dark. She didn't have her phone with her, so she couldn't use it as a flashlight or anything. She would have been stumbling around in the dark. So how far could she get if she was on land? Probably not far, but I still think that it's worth it to put some search parties again together, whether here in 2021 or into 2022, and concentrate more on the surrounding areas on land. Because if she went into the water and really was swept up to the Winooski River, then I have to say I don't know what can be done. But you got to give the land then another shot. So that is my diagram. Just to go through this again, I believe either that they were coming up this way in Brook Road or on Cameron Road. They got to this intersection. There's a wreck. Somebody witnesses this. The EMTs show up, and then both women go into the water. Allie is rescued somewhere, I guess, downstream going toward the Winooski River. Krystal is never seen again. So thank you for watching. I hope you will consider joining this channel, subscribing to it. And if you'd like, please support us on either Patreon, patreon.com/Unfound Podcast, or at PayPal, paypal.me/Unfound Podcast. Thank you for watching.